Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's another part of my Christmas series. These are budget-friendly DIYs I put together and very easy to do. They're adorable and I hope you guys enjoy this video. And if you do, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. For this one, we're going to use some fabric. I got this from Hobby Lobby and I was going to use this, but I decided not to. And we're going to use a bunch of different bulbs and this little snowflake. Now you can use any type of fabric you like. I'm going to take this Foam and I'm going to use it as a base because I couldn't find any wood blocks at Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to take a little piece of that fabric and wrap this. Now I'm going to use a ribbon and just tie it off. It's much easier if you have like a little wood piece or something like that. But I needed something to place the skewer stick inside, so I used the floral foam. So now I'm going to take a skewer stick and place it inside. This is such an easy project. Anybody can do this. Now all I'm going to do is start with the large ornaments and place them first on the skewer stick, and then I'm going to go with the medium and then top it off with the tiny ones. These Dollar Tree ornaments, they're kind of flimsy, but they still worked. I mean, they kept popping off. I had to keep putting it back on. It still comes out cute. Like I said, if you want to check around Dollar Tree, if your Dollar Tree carries those wood cubes, go ahead and use it, or you can use dice. So all you're doing is trying to make sure that every little area is, you have to lay the ornaments down in a certain way because if you don't, you'll have like a big hole. But, at the end, you can always fill it with the little ones. You can go ahead and glue them in there and just make it a lot fuller. I didn't do that, but you can. Now you can decorate any way you like at the bottom. I use a Dollar Tree ribbon and I just made a little bow. Just going to glue it to the bottom. I'm also going to use a Dollar Tree snowflake and I just painted it white, added a little bit of the white glitter, and I'm just going to place it at the top of the tree, glue it down, and that is it for this project. Super easy and super fast. For this one, I was going to use this, but I decided to use the MDF from Dollar Tree. I used my Cricut. These little handles came from Hobby Lobby. They're really inexpensive, and I got two. So I'm going to start by painting this MDF board from Dollar Tree. I just cut it. The other piece of wood I wasn't able to cut down. So I'm just going to paint this with some crimson red paint. Now I also use my Cricut. I'm just going to place down the vinyl words. It's going to say Cookies for Santa. I also created a cookie for Santa. I'm going to place that one down as well and a little one in the left-hand side. So there's going to be two cookies for Santa. Now I'm going to take those handles and just glue them down. Now those handles have holes at the top and I was trying to figure out a way to cover them because I didn't have small enough screws. I didn't want a chance, splitting the wood or anything like that. So I felt that it was safer just to glue them down. So I decided to use these little push pins. They have like little pearls at the end. I could not find my tiny little pearls, so I had to use these instead. So I'm just going to cut the needle part off and then I'm going to place that little pearl part right inside the holes. I'm just going to glue them down to cover that hole. Now I did the other three off camera. The only thing I added differently off camera was I added a few little dots of white paint. And that is it for this project. Super cute, super easy. All right, for this one, I printed this out. You can find this anywhere on Google. And I'm going to use the 3 snowman from Dollar Tree. Now I want to remove the hat and the nose, so I'm just going to use my pencil, then score it with my knife, and then I'm going to use my scissors to cut it off. I'm going to do the other two off camera. It's up to you if you want to leave the hat and nose on, but I didn't want it because when I place the paper over the top, it's going to look kind of funny. Now I'm just going to place them down on the sheet and then trace them with my pencil. and then cut them out. Now you can use any type of craft paper of your choice. You don't have to use what I use. I simply like it this way. I like the rustic kind of vintage look to it. Now I'm just going to cut them all out. Now I'm going to use some Mod Podge and place the Mod Podge on the snowman and place the paper right over the top. Now once the Mod Podge dries, I'm going to go ahead and use a sandpaper and clean off the edges. Now I'm going to use some antique wax and just apply some on top of the snowman because I want it to look more vintage, and just using a little sponge, place it a little darker around the edges. So I made a snowman's nose out of some cardboard. I just cut a little piece out and I'm just going to go ahead and paint them orange. Now I used some fabric for his scarf and I just cut a little piece out. These are fabrics from Dollar Tree, and I believe one's from Hobby Lobby. So I'm just going to go ahead and place it down around its neck and just place it down with some glue. Now I'm going to go ahead and place down his nose. So I'm going to use some black puffy paint for his eyes. So now I'm going to use my pencil and just create a little star at the bottom. And then I'm going to fill it in with some red paint. This step's optional. You don't have to do what I do. I'm just giving you some ideas what you can do with these little snowmen. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other two off camera. And this is how they look. Now you could place some string at the top, place them on your tree, or you can just lay them around your house. But I decided to place them inside a little wood frame. So I'm going to use this from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use some craft paper from Hobby Lobby, and I'm going to place the craft paper inside. Now I'm just going to place them down inside, just hot glue them down. Now you can also decorate. You can place a bow, you can place some greenery at the sides, but I kind of left it plain. I think these came out so cute and they were so easy to make and has that nice vintage pop. I really love the way they came out. And this is how they turned out. So stinking cute. All right, for this one, we're going to use some cardboard, and this little tag I made out of some gift box, like cardboard kind of thing. And I'm going to use this from Dollar Tree. I used it before. I'm going to use it again. Now I'm just going to take my pencil and just kind of freehand a snowman shape. And the good thing about using your pencil, you can erase your mistakes because I didn't like what I drew, so I'm going to go ahead and erase it and try again. So this project doesn't cost you much, basically zero. You should have these supplies at your house. Now, if you don't have a frame, you can always pick up one from Dollar Tree. Now I'm just going to cut out that snowman shape. Now, because it's cardboard, I'm going to go ahead and remove the front piece of it. I'm using a Cricut tool to help me. What I did notice that if you just kind of like wet it a little bit, it'll come off easier. So I'm going to finish the rest off camera. So because it's a snowman, obviously we're going to go ahead and paint it all white. So I'm just going to use this brush. It makes it easier to get in between. I also made a nose out of some cardboard, and I'm going to paint that red. Guys, I can't believe next week is Thanksgiving. Where did this year go? It just flew right by. Oh my God. I'm definitely looking forward to my Thanksgiving dinner next week. Got family coming over and I'm cooking. I'm going to take that snowman and just glue it down to the sign. Does everybody cook turkey for Thanksgiving? Because I know some people like to throw like a ham or something in there. I'm traditional, so I always do a turkey. So now I'm going to place the nose on the snowman, and it's going to be going upward. Use my black marker and just create his mouth. Now I'm going to use some pink paint to create some rosy cheeks. This is such an easy little DIY. Anybody can make this. I love snowman. Do you guys like snowman? I know a lot of people like gingerbread. I don't mind the gingerbread, but if I was to decorate, I probably most likely use a snowman DIY or something. Now, because it was raining outside, I didn't want to go look for twigs or anything like that. So I'm just going to use, for his arms, I just pulled them off of one of Dollar Tree's little winter pick or something, and just painted it brown. Just going to glue it to the side. Now I'm going to use Dollar Tree snowflake stickers. I'm just going to place down 2. Now we're going to create some snow, take it back with my paintbrush with some white paint, just add a few little dots here and there. I'm going to take that tag that I cut out and just going to use my black marker and write out, "Snow is in the air." Now I'm just going to glue it to the sign. Now I also created a little scarf around the snowman's neck. Just took a little piece of fabric from Hobby Lobby. I don't know what happened to that piece, but this is what it looks like with the little scarf on, and this is how it turned out. All right, for this one, we're going to use a Dollar Tree frame. I used it before, but Dollar Tree ran out. So these clear ornaments came from Micheals, but Hobby Lobby carries them as well for 50% off. Craft paper from Hobby Lobby. This card came from Dollar Tree. We're going to make something really adorable. I'm going to start off by painting this frame white. Took about 2 coats to cover it. And Dollar Tree ran out of these frames. Usually they have tons of them, but I couldn't find any. Now I'm going to take the back of the frame and just take that craft paper and place it on top. Just going to trace it and cut it out. Now it's cut out. I'm just going to place it right on top of that back and glue it down with my glue gun. Now I'm going to take that clear ornament and that little card, place the ornament right on top because I need to trace out that little snowman. Now I'm just going to go ahead and cut that out. This is perfect if you don't have a printer and you just want to make a little cute little DIY. Check out Dollar Tree's little cards. Sometimes you can find some really adorable ones. Now I'm just going to glue that little snowman right down to that craft paper. I'm going to use the glue stick to place it down. Now I'm going to take some of that fake snow from Dollar Tree and just going to sprinkle a little bit inside before I place the ornament on top. Now I'm just going to add some glue around the snowman and then place the ornament right over the top. Normally I would use like super glue or something like that, but I didn't want to play with the super glue today. You know what happened to me last time. But the glue held pretty well. Now I want to use this braided rope from Dollar Tree. I'm just going to glue it all around that little ornament. I think it makes it look really adorable. It gives it some character as well. Now I'm just going to make a little shoelace bow out of the same material, and then I'm just going to hot glue it to the top of the ornament. Now I'm going to put everything back together, place it inside the frame. So I wanted to add just a little bit of greenery in the corner. So just pulled a couple picks apart and just going to glue it to the corner. And then I have this trim ribbon that I got from Hobby Lobby. I'm also going to create a little shoelace bow out of the red trim and place it in the middle of the greenery. And that is it for this project. And look how adorable this came out. I love this one. It's so cute. All right, this is the last DIY. I took this board from Dollar Tree. I used it before. These two large wood dowels from Dollar Tree. This came from Dollar Tree as well. It's one of the little easels. These are little easel package from Dollar Tree. I used my Cricut as well. This little ornament came from Hobby Lobby. It's a half one of those ornaments. First thing I want to do is paint this. I went ahead and cut it down. I should mention that as well. I'm going to paint this white. Now I'm going to paint everything white. I went ahead and cut down those little wood dowels because it wasn't big enough, so I cut one down. It's not going to fit the whole sign. It's going to fit like the middle part of the sign. Now I'm just going to glue down those pieces that I cut down. Now this board is warped. Once you paint it, it gets warped. I was having a hard time gluing this down. Now the only thing I could suggest is paint both sides, but I didn't do it. But I glued it down with my hot glue gun, and then I used one of those little clamps from Dollar Tree to hold it in place. Or you can just get a good piece of real wood and you shouldn't have a problem. So I'm placing down the square piece of wood first and then the dowel underneath it. Just to give it some accent on this sign. I want it to look really pretty. Something like people would think you bought it from a store. I'm just using this piece of wood just to make sure it's even. Now I'm going to place the bottom pieces down as well. The dowel rods were not long enough. That's why I cut a little piece. Now I'm just gluing it to the bottom. Now I'm going to place down the vinyl that I created on my Cricut. Now it didn't want to stick, so I'm just going to take it off the transfer and just place it down individually. Now I'm just going to place down the Y as well. If you guys have a favorite today, let me know in the comments below. I love the way this one comes out. It's so pretty. Now I'm just going to go ahead and lay down the nativity scene. Now I'm going to take that ornament and just place some glue around the rim and place it right over that nativity scene. Now I'm going to be using some black rope, and I got this from Dollar Tree. It's from one of the planters hangers, and I'm just going to go ahead and glue it all the way around that ornament. This kind of looks like store-bought to me. I mean, people wouldn't believe that I made this with Dollar Tree products. Now I'm going to place a little gingham bow right at the top. I just made a little bow out of Dollar Tree ribbon. Now I want to be able to hang it as well. So I'm going to take a bunch of wood beads and place it through a jute wire and just hot glue it to the back of the sign. Now I was a little nervous about flipping it upside down because I didn't want it to fall apart. So that's why you see me just kind of gluing it sideways. And that's pretty much it. And this is how it turned out. I think it's so adorable. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Take care, everyone. I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.